Well, hello and welcome to Thrive Thursday for Thursday, June 17th, 2021. We're really moving through June. It seems like these days just keep getting faster and faster, don't they? It's like, oh my goodness gracious. All right. Well, we're going to obviously go through our Thrive Thursday today because we want to keep Big Mo in your corner for the rest of the week here. And we're going to talk today about how to rebound from a mistake. And we've been talking about failing forward for quite a while and think outside your constraints. So we're going to get into some of the stream of consciousness stuff out there for you today. So we're going to get deep. All right, well, let me get rid of the banner here for you. First of all, I'll take that out of your face and I'll take me out of your face and we'll get going with this thing. All right, well, let's look at the ideas from me today. Of course, me is always James Clear. He sends these to me, so appreciate it, James. The first one is patience is a competitive advantage. In a surprising number of fields, you can find success if you are simply willing to do the reasonable thing longer than most people. And I was talking earlier in the week about the magic pill. People talking about the magic pill of success. And of course, the magic pill of success, in my view, is always consistency or just being persistent. And that's part of being patient. It can be a competitive advantage when you're pushy and just can't wait and needy and all this kind of stuff. People can feel that. So I've always believed in going into any situation with an air of expectancy, and I go in with the assumptive sales technique anyway. But the bottom line is, if folks believe that they need you, that you need them, then they have the competitive advantage. So in any situation, if you can just be patient and say, hey, whatever. I mean, if it doesn't work for you, I'm still going to be here. I don't know where you're going to be, but I'm going to be here. And I'm going to be working with people. And hopefully when you're ready to do something, I'll have an opportunity in time to help you do that. And we can get together then. So just kind of, some people call it a takeaway close, but mainly just be patient in whatever it is. And I think you'll find that you can find success just by being willing to do the reasonable thing longer than most people. All right. Number two, most people don't want accurate information. They want validating information. Growth requires you to be open to unlearning ideas that previously served you. Okay, let's look at this one more time. Most people don't want accurate information. They want validating information. In other words, you don't want to know the truth. You just want to know something that feels good, right? But growth requires you to be open to unlearning ideas that previously served you. So maybe something worked at some point in your career, and it's not working for you now. So you got to unlearn that and get out there. And life is constantly about learning. It really is. Change is inevitable. The only constant is change, right? So you got to get out there and just continually grow and learn, and maybe unlearn a few things that were getting in your way. And that's why we do reflect, plan, execute every single day and every single week. It's because there might be some things that we need to unlearn that are stumbling blocks to us that we had done previously. The world changes, folks. You got to stay with it. All right. Your mind is a suggestion engine. Every thought you have is a suggestion, not an order. Sometimes your mind suggests that you are tired, that you should give up, or that you should take an easier path. But if you pause, you can discover new suggestions. For example, that you feel good once the work is done, or that you have the ability to finish things even when you don't feel like it. Your thoughts are not orders, merely suggestions. You have the power to choose which option to follow. And we talk a lot, especially in habit formation, about the subconscious and the conscious mind. And of course, your thoughts and your actions, and of course, your words too. A lot of times, your words and your thoughts are BFFs, right? They're there to support each other. And so you want to be sure you get your language right, but get your mind right. And these thoughts, again, that come through your mind, that's just a suggestion. So, and you got to break these habits, these old habits. And so if you've been one who just gives up easy, then when your mind suggests that you're tired, you're gonna say, oh yeah, I guess I'll just pick this up tomorrow, right? But if you just hang in there and say, no, I'm gonna work through this, then you will give your subconscious another path, and next time I'll say, well, last time we were a little bit tired, but we pumped through it, and man, the euphoria and all the endorphins I got from making that thing happen really felt good. So let's just hang in here and let's do this some more. So just remember that your thoughts are not orders, they're merely suggestions. And you just need to take 100% responsibility and choose which option to follow. All right, well, let's get down to our quotes. We've got one by author Gretchen Rubin today on how to rebound from a mistake. And instead of feeling that you've blown the day and thinking, I'll get back on track tomorrow, try thinking of each day as a set of 4 quarters: morning, midday, afternoon, and evening. If you blow one quarter, you get back on track for the next quarter. Fail small, not big. And that's from Better Than Before. But yeah, I mean, that's so true. It also kind of like, Jim Rohn's 4 seasons. You have different seasons. Well, you have different parts of the day, right? So maybe you look at them as 4 quarters and say, well, dadgummit, I goofed up and blew my morning, but I still got the midday and afternoon. So here we go. Let's get rolling. Let's get a rally going. Now, you don't want to have to go into the locker room every mid-afternoon and try and pump yourself up to get rolling, because that is going to get old. I mean, nobody wants to be behind at halftime every single daggone game, right? So let's don't do cardiac cowboy type stuff where, oh my, we're going to win this, we're going to lose this, right? So just look at it as you can look at your day that way, but just if you try and get out ahead, of course you want to be sure you stay ahead. So, just I would get some early successes, get an early lead, and that's why we talk about Miracle Morning and those types of things. Get out there and get your big old hairy goals done and all that, your big key productive indicators in place, your key actions done, your big deal for the day. Get it done early. Get those early successes done, and then you can whittle away at things that afternoon and do some prospecting or whatever it is, and get yourself set up for tomorrow. But remember, if something does happen and does shake you up, just don't look at it as though, well, it's noon, my day is blown. No, it's not blown. You've got 3 more quarters, so let's get after it. But fail small, not big. All right. And Facebook executive Andrew Bosworth is here today on how to think outside your constraints. Well, when we're getting close to launching products at Facebook, we often move the product team out of our usual open floor plan and into a room so they can coordinate in even tighter loops. As a rapidly growing company, it can sometimes be hard to find the space for these so-called war rooms. Before the launch of our games platform, we needed to move more people into a war room that could possibly fit in any floor plan. Not to be defeated, the team came in over the weekend and built a loft which could support desks on 2 levels. This is classic hacking. The team solved a problem on a dimension, quite literally, that was unexpected. When you think of a floor plan, you think of width and depth, not height. Not to be outdone, a few later when the messenger team needed to move 15 people into a war room, but the largest room we could only fit 10 people any way you arranged it, including vertically, they cut a hole in the wall and made a bigger room. This example isn't illustrative for its cleverness, but rather for its power as a metaphor. As humans, when we walk into a room, we are inclined to perceive the 4 walls around us as permanent, immovable constraints. Some of them are, We should avoid demolishing structural walls, but most of them probably are not. So yeah, I think anytime you go into a room, you have to look at the possibilities, right? You have to, in the rooms, of course, the situations that we go through in our day and in our life, and this is, I think, this whole 4 paragraph thing is one way of saying thinking outside the box. You're not stuck to the restraints of those 4 walls. You know, what can you do? How can you how can you zig? How can you zag? And how can you make this situation work for you? So constantly be on your feet, and just don't stay in the old paradigms of this is the way this should be, this is the way that should be. Think about how you can make things different, and you're only going to be able to do that if you properly do your reviews and do your reflection and do your planning. Because if you're constantly under the gun and you don't allow yourself any downtime, you don't allow yourself any meditation time, you don't allow yourself any free time, your brain is not going to be able to get in there and activate and really get the imagination station going, right? You're going to be stuck in just what you have to do in stressful situations. So always, get your rest. That's why, like I said, we're going back to the Miracle Morning again. That's when we talk about, getting a good night's sleep. If you need to do a time shift to do that, but get up, get the oxygen in your body, get your water going, and get some a little bit of aerobic exercise going. Whatever it is, get yourself pumped up, get yourself rolling. If you got a caffeinate, do a little caffeinate, but don't rely on that 24/7. But get yourself up and going, get your body feeling great, get your mind feeling good, and allow yourself the opportunity to think about these different things. And a lot of folks, like, they get into the journey of success, and they just don't plan for any of the situations that may come up. And again, the subconscious mind is going to kill you because it's going to tell you, here we are again, we're stuck, and you didn't have a plan for this. Well, you gotta get it and think these things in advance. So the more you get into these situations, the better that you'll be able to think light on your feet. But this is a great example of how a team could come in and do it. And you may utilize team. You may want to go to your mentor, your coach, and say, hey, I've got these constraints that I believe I have. Is this really what I do have? But again, just keep thinking, be flexible, and make things happen for yourself. All right, well, here's your question for you today. What is one action that would make today a success? Well, there you go. We talk about this in the Phoenix Journal, group every week, and of course, 12-week year. But what action would make today successful? What's that called? That's called a key action, right? It's called a key productive indicator. And when you go through your day, and of course, when we go through our week, we always talk about what's the one thing if I accomplish this week, it would make it a great week, right? And we talk about that on our weekly accountability meeting, our WAM sessions on Wednesday. But as you go through your day, look at what one action is going to make today a success, and do that every day. And plan for it tomorrow, and then go back and look at the end of the day and say, well, what victory am I proud of today, and how can I improve? Every single day. And that's part of reflect, plan, execute. But think about today. What is one action that would make today a success? And if you'll put that in your journal every single day, then you will get your key actions handled, and you'll be able to go back and talk about it as a success yesterday, right? All right. Well, there we are for today. We've got our 3, 2, 1 out there for you on how to rebound from a mistake and think outside your restraints. All right, well, I'm going to hop back in here real quick for you and say goodbye, but have a great Thursday. We've got a nice Finish Strong Friday for you tomorrow. We're going to finish out the month with a little series here, and I'm not going to give it away. I've been good all week by not doing that, but you want to show up tomorrow. We're here around noon and get started on this. We're going to probably 3, maybe 4 sessions that we're going to go through this next session, finish out the month with it. So we're going to have a good ending for you and get you really, really rolling and ready for the last half of the year. All right, well, have a great one. Always keep moving in the direction of your dreams. If you need us, reach out to us. But until then,